Craft room tour, take one. Well, hello, my fellow adventurers, and welcome to Lucinda's Adventures in my annual craft room tour. We'll start with this desk, which my daughter got for free from Facebook Marketplace, and she gave it to me whenever she moved. I love it so much. It's really beautiful. It was really short. I think maybe it was originally for a child, and so I got some risers. Those risers actually came from a garage sale, yes, for like $2 because they were white. They were perfect. I have those pillows and a little riser for my feet under there. And then this chair that I've had for a really long time that I still love. It does adjust. It rises up pretty high, which is really great whenever I am filming and I need a lot of support. So I have a little back support and a pad, both of which I got from Goodwill. I use all these drawers pretty much now for business stuff, like tax paperwork, etc. So we won't bother going through those, but I love how the top of my desk looks now. I totally rearranged it and I started with these boxes. But before we go into those, I want to show you this little container. I still have all of my little clips for when I'm holding my journals open, when I do my journal with me videos and Bible journaling, etc. I have this little container with some paint and a brush for when I want to splash a little bit of white on the background. That pink container is for my paper scraps, and then I've got some clips there and then something to put down whenever I am using something that's wet or might mess up the desk. So these boxes my mom actually had whenever she would order like a bunch of really big things for wipes, and they would come in these boxes and I was like, these are really good boxes. I think I can use them. And so I just bought some fabric and hot glued it on top of them to kind of make the sides look a little better. I mean, they looked fine, but they just, had advertisement on them. And so I'm using them as shelves. And on the top, on this left side, I have a container that used to have spinach in it. Yes, you guys, save those if you buy the big containers of organic spinach because they make really good containers, clear containers. And inside that one, I had all my stencil stuff. And in this one, I have all my little Bible journaling stickers and then all of my stickers that I'm using primarily for the current season, which right now is winter. So I've got some blue stickers, blue and white stickers, snow stickers, things with jackets and all of that. And then I've got some pink ones in there as well because I love pink and some pink papers that I recently bought that I want to use during this season as well. So that's working out really well. And these two shelves, as they were, are all of the things that I need for stamping. So I have clear stamps, wood stamps, I have ink pads, I have the brushes that you use, to rub on all that stuff on there. And because there's room here on the left in that section, then I put some sticker books, and I did that throughout this desk where I had little room to stick stuff in. So here at the top here, I have a little what do you call it? Lazy Susan with mostly used tools. And I have another one that I'll show you in a moment. And so in front of that, I have my little toolkit that I use whenever I am doing, gosh, I can't find the words, you guys, when I'm doing plan with me videos, because I always want to have those little scissors and my little tweezers and so forth. And so on this top shelf, I've got, in those two envelopes at the top are word stickers and word papers. The two boxes are some kits that I bought, and then I have those paint markers, paint pens that I like to use. And so again, these are things that I use very frequently on top of my desk in front of me. That little envelope has clear plastic sleeves to store things in, store stickers, etc. I had that container at the top. That box had all kinds of different things like sequins and jewel stickers, etc. And then I've got paper pads there and on top. And then that blue container has my mostly used dual tip markers and pens. And then I've got a little candle warmer that I use to keep my mug warm. And then there at the top is a little phone holder, which I love, that I put on the side if I want to listen to some music or watch something while I'm working. And then these are all tissue boxes that are so pretty that I decided to use them to store things. And I just cut other little pieces of boxes on top to make lids and some washi tape, so if something gets knocked down, then I don't have to worry about losing everything and trying to gather it up. Now, in these little clear containers that came from Dollar Tree, they're actually individual drawers that I taped together. I have a lot of little things that I tend to use a lot. And here's just an example of some glue sticks. I also have some erasers. And that's sitting on top of a box that's inside of a pink box. That's on top of a empty box. Yes, I just made this into a sort of a little tower, and it's working out really nicely. And the one with butterflies, there's a bunch of stuff in there that I don't use very much, and that's why I allowed it to be inside of something that I would have to take stuff out. But it's like all lots and lots and lots of glue. Yeah. And I have plenty everywhere else. So in those little bags I was just touching, I have some frames for whenever I do Journal With Me videos. See, here's a whole bunch of glue right there that there's plenty. I won't be finished with that for a long time. And then here's another little cranny that I've got some sticker books also. So yeah, I'm just making use of all those little spots. And then on top of those bags, I had my glue gun bag and some other glue and glue dots. And then here I've just got some fabric. It's the same fabric that's on the side of those green boxes, and then a crochet little overlay, and then just a little doily from Dollar Tree. Yeah. And then here I've got all kinds of colorful journals, you guys. Then they are all moved into the same area, all journals and traveler's notebook covers, and traveler's notebooks that I've journaled in. So all of the journals, whether it's traveler's notebook, whether it's a regular notebook, whether it's a bullet journal, they're all in this area instead of all in they were kind of in the same area before, but they were sort of not. And so, yeah, I kind of got them as much in the same area as I possibly could this year. And I also have a little container over here that has a bunch of frequently used tools also. And later I'll show you where I have the ones that I don't use very often. And then I'm just using this little container to hold some charms, because I store the charms normally somewhere else, but I just bought those and I really want to remember to use them. And so I just decorated a little bit here with some beautiful roses from Dollar Tree. That's where you get a set for $3, and I added some ribbon and just hung it from the pole for the curtain rod. And then I have on top of the different journals a lot of my original art. There, everything at the top. Well, first, these beautiful flowers. They came from Dollar Tree, an arrangement that I made. And then the tissue paper little flowers I made with my neighbors a long time ago. And then all of that art there is my original art. Some of it is originally on the original paper, and some of it was painted on a smaller size, and I blew it up and printed it. And then here I've got some of my diplomas and certificates from the Navy, and then my bachelor's degree and my master's degree all sitting there. And then we have, I do really love the way that orange one from my bachelor's is framed. And then here at the top, I have some things that I very rarely use. Like I have some extra pencil sharpeners because I have plenty of what I need right now. I have some foam squares, and then I like to save the seed inside of avocados. So I have them up there because I have a project I plan for the future. That organized planner chic sign, that used to be my channel name, my business name. My daughter made that for me years ago, and I love it. So I'm keeping it there. I may change it and put it in another place in my house. And then I created these kind of shelves just using those Dollar Tree shelves that you use for dishes and stuff in your kitchen. And I had some tape stuck on there because I had multiples taped together. And then in this bin, I have, like I have at my desk, where I have the current season stuff of stickers and like scraps and stuff that I can easily reach, while I have the other seasons there that I'm not using right now. And then I have some other clippings there and wide washi tape in those boxes. And then the box underneath it is just serving as a shelf, really. And then I have this beautiful container that's got all my wax seal stuff. And then I have this little container that is from Dollar Tree as well, that you kind of slide into those spaces for some die cuts. Yes, there. I have some other die cuts, but those are some new ones that I want to use soon. So that's why they're there. And then I have all of my Bible journaling stuff here. I have my Bible, my Bible planning journal, my Bible journal for taking notes. And then here I have some foam squares and circles for when I do journaling videos. And then I also have just some cardstock strips and papers that are white for when I need a white background. I had my punches up there. I want to buy some more. And then all the rest of this tower is everything for filming. So I've got cameras, camera cases. I have background things like doilies and placemats that I put on the background for the videos are all there on that shelf, and like candles and stuff like that. And then this is my little sign that I got from YouTube as a YouTube partner, which was really nice. It was a really nice gift. And then I have behind there all of these little bags that are little kits for whenever I'm filming away from home, whether I'm on a road trip or on a plane. Then I have everything I need. And then there at the bottom are all of my different tripods, whether it's the small ones or the clip-ons or my heavy-duty professional one. And then I have a few little things that you'll see here and there, little hooks or things where I hang things that I need, that there's just a space to do it. So I have some little wood pieces there from Dollar Tree I need to paint. I also have a color wheel and a clipboard. And then I have a really nice little sign a friend gave to me for my birthday several years ago. And then it's some of my original art. I haven't changed out really any of my original art around the room with fresher things. I don't know why I never do that. But then here I also have a art piece, because these pieces I did a really long time ago. And then I have my ribbon wall, which I really love. And I'll link, if I remember, I'll link that video with some little pieces of art that were given to me from some subscribers years ago. But I love this. It was an easy DIY. It was very fun. My washi wall that I made a long time ago with some Dollar Tree trays, metal trays, is a little sparse because I took a lot down to sell when I was doing vendor booths at my church's farmer's market. So I'm going to probably be selling different things like that online. I'll keep you guys posted. And then I've got also some vinyl hanging there that I use Dollar Tree hooks to put that together, more washi. And then that basket is a bunch of 12 by 12 papers. And that's what's in that area. And then this little section is kind of stuff that I don't use very much. Now, there's plenty that I do that we haven't covered yet. But at the top there, I just have a bunch of contact paper and big rolls of things. And then, of course, I have some faux plants around here. I love plants. I have real plants all over my house, but in this area, I've got faux. That was my tape section we just passed. And then here's just a little tower. Those trays came from Dollar Tree years ago of different types of paper that are not craft paper, but like dotted paper, printer paper. I mean, not printer paper, but lined paper. And then that was, you saw some glue there, the heavy duty glue and adhesive. And then that's a tool, Lazy Susan, of tools that I don't use very much. And a container of themed tins for journaling, and then a container for making magnets. Yeah, which I'm excited about doing that here coming up, probably for Valentine's Day. And then down here I have binders of some original art and some sticker designs and greeting cards that I keep to journal with, the ones that I think were really pretty. I have coloring books done here also, and drawing books. And then I have a container with drawing pencils, and then cases for putting the pencils and erasers in, and then a bunch of different sketchbooks and mixed media books, and then a section of cardboard from like cereal boxes. And then this was another gift from YouTube as a YouTube partner. It's not my 20th year. This is my 11th 11th? No, this will be my 12th year, I think, doing YouTube videos. And then I've got a container to have my cutting cutters, paper cutters, paper trimmers, and then little bags for when I need to separate things and pen cases. And then this rest of this whole tower is all traveler's notebook stuff for making or assembling or decorating them. So the top one was inserts, yes. And then the second one is craft folders and dashboards and like decorative things to hang off the side. And then this one is all the tools for like, or actually it is some paper clips and beads. And then I also have these two containers that are just little things that they just fit there, like paper clips and thumbtacks and so forth. And then there's the other side of the beads. And then I also have the stapler that I use for whenever I'm trying to create inserts myself. And then I have different just decorative pieces that I also will sometimes use on the traveler's notebooks that are hanging there on the sides as well. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that there used to be no door going into this space. From my bedroom to this space, there was no door. And I finally got a barn door for it, yes. And I actually hired a handyman to put that in, and he ordered for me a lock for it, which is amazing. So it works perfectly. And then here is my little gallery wall of some of my art that is the same art that's been there. I know I still haven't changed it out. We'll see if I get to that next year, maybe. And then here on this tower, the first part is all paper towel rolls and toilet paper rolls. And yes, I'm going to be using those soon because I have something coming up and I need to make a bunch of stuff, and that's perfect supplies. And in these drawers, I have different things. So the top one was projects that I'm currently working on. Then there was one for clay. Then there's one for sewing. And then the bottom one has just miscellaneous things that are grouped together. And maybe a couple of things that I need to put in a different place. So we'll see. But these cupcake containers are what I'm using for them. And they used to have the lids on top, but they wouldn't all fit in their drawer. So I just put them underneath. So that worked well. So these two they're not stands. You guys know what these are called. Carts. Yeah. They have different things in the back. On this top one is tissue paper. And then most of the rest of the sections are all divided by color of different scraps of different papers or envelopes. And then the bottom was all stationery. And then this little thing has tags. I've got more tags underneath. And these are just containers that I got from the 99-cent store back when it existed. And it's just different scraps or packaging or whatever that are in different gathered together by category. And then at the bottom, I have some smaller containers that are doing the same thing. And so in the middle here is all kind of journaling cards, some of which I made, and more tags. And then down here are those other containers I was talking about that are separated just kind of by like items. So these are little artsy scraps and things and packaging, fashion ones and scraps, food theme, ones. They're just all grouped together, all for journaling and junk journaling. Yeah. And then there's also some alphabet ones there. And I divide this space between another area because this is all one big sunroom. And I divided it when my parents moved in with me several years ago, and so that I could give them more room, more of a living area over there, and have this be a separate area for my craft room. So I nailed up curtains up there. And then in this drawer, this top drawer is Tombow dual brush pens and a bunch of Crayola Super Tips, but not all of them. Those are the ones that I had before I bought the 100 count. And then other markers. And then this drawer has all different pens grouped by color. And they're using those containers from Dollar Tree where you can slide your pens in. The first ones I bought were from Amazon, which cost way more years ago. And then I got them from Dollar Tree. And then here in this section, I have stacked up some things that are labeled. The top was alcohol markers, and there were some alcohol markers in that drawer as well. And then like crayons and water-soluble pastels. And then this is different cutting boards that I use. And then on the top in this basket are card making supplies, and then an overflow of some things that I need for when I paint, especially watercolor. And so we're going to look at the paint now, you guys, and I'm so proud of myself that I finally arranged these bottles and tubes in a way that made more sense than the way I had them before. Yeah, so I feel like a grown-up. And then the top drawer are all the tubes. Yes, isn't that so lovely? I don't know why. And then I've got some pens for painting on glass also there. I don't know why I never did it that way. And then this tower is all gouache and watercolor, and then brushes for different things. So that was gouache, the bottom drawer. This is a watercolor drawer. And then this is a watercolor drawer. I love watercolor. It's my favorite thing. And then these are the little white, off-white thing. That thing right there is all acrylic brushes. And then these other brushes are all for like craft projects. And then these are all watercolor brushes and droppers and different things for watercolor brushing. And then these are, what are these called? I can't find the word, y'all, for what you put your, I want to say easels. That is not the right word. Palettes for painting. And then this is all colored pencil and watercolor pencils. So yeah, I try to kind of do it. On one side is the color pencils and the other is watercolor, but then there's a big watercolor tin in the back, watercolor pencils. And that's my favorite type of sharpener, you guys, is the absolute best. I'm hands down, and I have tried all of them. That is the best one. If you can find that I got them from Amazon, and it's the only one I use. I know I have extras stored up there because you never know if something breaks and you need something right now. So under this table on this shelf are things that I very rarely use. I have in that container with the blue lid are newspapers for paper mache. I've got some shipping label things. I've got a big bag of things that I want to keep to make stuff out of from whenever my husband passed away. They're greeting cards and just pretty things that from that time. And then in these drawers are fabric on that side on the left, and this side is all sticker sheets. Yes, and loose stickers. And then this is the angled desk that I made years ago that I use when I'm not filming, when I'm doing some crafting and drawing, because it's not the right angle to film at all. And I love it. And yeah, that is everything, you guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe and comment and share. It really helps my channel a lot, and it tells that YouTube algorithm to recommend my videos. I want to thank all my channel members. You guys, if you're interested in being a channel member, just click the link in the description below or go to my channel page and click join. Please take care of your body. You only have one, and take care of your spirit, your soul, seeking first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. Continue to pray for me, and I'll continue to pray for you. And until next time, everyone, happy adventures.